Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee, I regularly hear from ambassadors of some of the countries that may participate in IPEF that it is not sufficiently ambitious. What has been the administration's response to that criticism, and how, if at all, has the scope of the negotiations changed based on requests from other potential partners?
Well, Senator Menendez, I disagree with the sense that it is not sufficiently ambitious, and in a lot of our interactions and conversations with our trading partners in the Indo-Pacific, we have been making the case that what we are trying to do in the economic framework for the Indo-Pacific is new. It will include innovative elements, some innovative for the region, some innovative for the trade policy conversation overall because of the evolving challenges that we are facing. That's where I would begin, which is new things require some time for socialization and for people to appreciate where the economic meaning is going to come. But we are committed to this region, to our partners, and to engaging and enhancing our economic relations.
Well, I appreciate that. Let me just say, as my own observation, not theirs, I don't think it's as robust as I think we need. I think we missed an opportunity in TPP, and that's happened, and we're not going to revisit it. But at the same time, when we are thinking about our challenge with China, which the administration has adopted as their #1 geostrategic challenge, the geoeconomic strategy to compete with China, you certainly, I hope, will pursue an ambitious agreement that sets high standards across the breadth of our economic relationships within the region. And it's critical that the IPEF make real progress in setting strong standards across the Indo-Pacific to further solidify a democratic rules-based trading regime. Let me ask you, Taiwan is a key trading partner of the United States, one of whom we have a strategic relationship that is intimately intertwined with our economic security, particularly as it relates to trade in semiconductors. It's a key stakeholder in the Indo-Pacific economic community. It's a vibrant democracy that respects the rule of law. It's exactly the type of partner whom we should work to strike high standard trade agreements. Several of weeks ago, the Taiwan government officially requested to be part of the IPEF negotiations. What has been the administration's response to that request?
Well, Senator Menendez, I completely agree with you that Taiwan is an essential trading partner for us and also an essential partner overall. The Indo-Pacific Economic Framework, and I want to emphasize this for everyone on this committee and publicly as well, is a framework that we are developing, and it is something that must reflect also the views of all of you and our stakeholders. On the point of Taiwan, we are in general in conversations with those who are interested in joining this framework. I do also want to emphasize and recall that in the last year we have revived the Trade and Investment Framework Agreement engagements with Taiwan, including at my level, which had been idle for 5 years, and we will continue to look at all.
So let me get back to my original question. What has been the administration's response to that request? Are you going to invite Taiwan to be part of the IPEF negotiations or not?
Participation in the IPEF is still under consideration, and as far as I'm aware, no decisions have been made.
Okay, well, I hope, and I get a sense from that answer, that we will not include Taiwan within the IPEF, which is missing an opportunity, both for the vision we have for Taiwan and also for the sort of regional and trade economic architecture. If it's not invited to join the negotiations, I hope the administration considers an agreement with Taiwan that extends the benefits on a bilateral basis, which would certainly be the next runner-up. Finally, at last year's trade agenda hearing, I asked you to commit to brief the committee before and after each negotiating session with regards to the TRIPS waiver, and you agreed to do that. Do you believe you kept that commitment?
I do.
Well, about 3 weeks ago, press reported on a proposed text that appeared to be a detailed compromise on the issue. And USTR, in fact, released a statement confirming that a compromise had been reached. Yet no one on this committee appears to have known anything about the details of that agreement before it was announced. We were kept in the dark. And so to me, this is an example, there's a difference between notification and consultation. Notification is when we got that. Consultation is when there's an engagement about what it is that you may be considering agreeing to so that you can have input from Congress. And that's why, I have real concerns. In your testimony, you said Congress is your constitutional partner on trade, but from my perspective, you haven't acted that way. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Chairman Wyden, if I may respond to that, because I think it is important for the overall conversation and for a sense of my integrity as the U.S. Trade Representative. Senator Menendez, in my testimony yesterday at the House Ways and Means Committee, I made the point, and I want to make it here for all of you as well, that there have been no agreements made at the WTO. And so with respect to whatever may be on the table, I consider these hearings to be a part of a consultation process, and I continue to want to hear from all of you. In fact, you and others on this committee have made yourselves very clear to me in terms of your positions, and I want you to know that I have heard your concerns, and I have also heard the concerns of the other members of the committee.
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry, but just to say, the USTR put out a statement that there had been a compromise agreement before anybody was invoked. So having come to talk to us after you had the compromise agreement is not input, because I don't think you're going to change the compromise agreement based upon anything you hear. So I don't think it is a fulfillment, and I hope we can get to a better place. Thank you.